Once, a wealthy businessman arrived at the ashram of my teacher's masters. His leg was rotting from gangrene and his life was slipping away. Desperate, he begged the shaman for help. "I'll pay you whatever you ask," he said. The shaman listened, meditated, and then replied, "I can heal you, but only if you're willing to make a sacrifice." The man nodded eagerly. "Of course, name your price." And then the shaman said, "Give your brand new car to your worst enemy." The man froze. His excitement turned to anger. He refused, storming off, and not long after he died. The shaman had sensed something profound, the man's attachment to material wealth. His hatred toward others were the roots of his sickness. Only through this act of surrender, this sacrifice, could he have been set free. Now, why am I sharing this story with you? Because it holds the key to the transformative power of shamanic sacrifices. In this video, I'm going to reveal the essence of shamanic rituals, what they really mean, how they heal and empower us, and most importantly, how you can apply these techniques in your daily life to overcome obstacles, manifest your goals, and reconnect with your true self. Are you ready? Let's begin. There's a lot of confusion when it comes to sacrifice. Many people hear the word and immediately think of suffering, pain, or giving up something as a punishment. But let me tell you, that's not what true sacrifice is about. In shamanic practice, sacrifice is about letting go of something you value deeply. Not to suffer, but to create space for something greater. It's about releasing attachments that weigh you down so you can rise above your challenges and align with your highest purpose. Sacrifice is not about loss, it's about transformation. The act of sacrifice is one of the most powerful energetic practices that exists. It's like opening a door between your inner world and the spiritual realm, allowing energy to flow in ways that can heal, empower, and bring miracles into your life. The spiritual path is full of sacrifices, but they're not what most people think. They're tools for growth, not punishment. Now, let's dive into the first and most fundamental type of shamanic sacrifice, the sacrifice of physical objects. This is the most basic form of sacrifice, and yet it's incredibly powerful. Here's how it works. You take an object that holds deep emotional or sentimental value for you, something you love, something you're attached to, and you offer it as a symbol of release. For example, imagine there's a part of your past that still haunts you. Maybe it's tied to memories, people, or experiences you can't let go of, and these memories are holding you back from fully living in the present. A shamanic ritual for letting go of the past often involves burning or burying an object connected to those memories. Let's say you have a jacket you absolutely love. It's been with you through countless adventures, and just looking at it floods you with memories. Now, imagine you're facing a major challenge or pursuing an important goal in your life. You can take that jacket to your altar, place it there, and say, "I surrender this to the spirits. I ask for your help in overcoming this obstacle." When you do this, the spirits receive all the energy you've poured into that jacket, the love, the memories, the attachment, and they transform it. In return, they may send you renewed vitality, inspiration, or even a breakthrough to help you achieve your goal. It's not about the object itself, it's about the emotional energy it carries. and the act of releasing it. When you let go of something you love, you let go of the attachments and blocks tied to it. And in doing so, you create space for healing and transformation. That's the power of sacrificing physical objects. It's simple, yet deeply profound. But physical objects are just the beginning. The next level of shamanic sacrifice takes us even deeper. It's about sacrificing our desires and comforts, letting go of the things that bring us pleasure in order to gain something far greater. Let's explore this next. Now, let's move to the second level of sacrifice, sacrificing desires and comforts. This is where things get really interesting. Many spiritual traditions emphasize renouncing material pleasures, and shamanism is no different. But let's clear something up. This isn't about judging or rejecting pleasure. No, it's not about labeling desires as bad. Instead, it's about understanding their power. Desires and comforts hold energy, and when you temporarily give them up, you're able to redirect that energy towards something greater. Here's how this works. Imagine there's a time when you need extra spiritual strength. Maybe you're facing a major obstacle, or you need clarity on an important decision. A shaman in this situation might go to their altar and offer one of their favorite pleasures, a meal, tobacco, or even their state of comfort itself. For example, they might fast for a day or leave their cozy home to meditate in nature, sacrificing their comfort to strengthen their connection to the spirits. You can do this too. Think about the times you've sacrificed comfort for a greater goal. Maybe you've woken up early for the gym, taken a cold shower, or pushed through discomfort to pursue a dream. In these moments, you're trading short-term pleasure for long-term rewards. You're telling the universe, I'm willing to give up my ease and comfort to gain something greater. And the energy of that sacrifice comes back to you as motivation, vitality, or spiritual insight. Here's an example you can try. Let's say you have a big goal that feels out of reach, and you need extra energy to achieve it. For 1 week, give up something that brings you comfort, like your favorite dessert or an hour of TV, and instead dedicate that time to working toward your goal or connecting with the spirits. This act of sacrifice sends a powerful message. I'm serious about this intention, and I'm willing to make changes to see it through. By temporarily releasing your desires and comforts, you're opening yourself to receive something far greater in return. So far, we've talked about physical objects and comforts, but what happens when we sacrifice something even more valuable? The next level is one of the most powerful and misunderstood: the sacrifice of money. Let's explore how this works. Now, we're stepping into one of the most powerful and often misunderstood forms of sacrifice: the sacrifice of money. In today's world, money holds enormous energy. It's tied to survival, success, and even our sense of identity. For many people, their attachment to money runs so deep that the thought of parting with it triggers fear and resistance. But here's the truth: it's not about the amount you sacrifice, it's about what that sacrifice means to you. Let me explain. Imagine two people. One is a billionaire who donates $1 million. It's a drop in the bucket for them. The other is someone with an average income who donates $1,000, a sum they worked for and feel deeply attached to. And which sacrifice holds more power? It's the one that costs the giver more emotionally. The value of the sacrifice isn't measured by the number. It's measured by the energy, the intention, and the emotional connection behind it. This is why shamans use money as a tool for sacrifice. It's not about losing wealth. It's about breaking the chains of attachment and opening a flow of abundance. Think of it like this. When you give money as a sacrifice, you're telling the universe, I trust in the flow of life. I trust that what I release will return to me in another form, whether it's healing, opportunities, or growth. Here's an example. Investing in your spiritual growth can be a powerful act of a sacrifice. Imagine using your hard-earned money to book a spiritual retreat, or to hire a mentor or shaman to guide you. That act of giving becomes a statement of commitment. It shows the spirits and yourself that you are ready to invest in transformation. Another form of this sacrifice is giving to those in need. Think about the story of the rich young man who approached Jesus, asking how he could attain eternal life. Jesus said to him, "Sell what you have, give it to the poor, and follow me." Why did Jesus ask him to give up his wealth? Because his attachment to money was the obstacle keeping him from freedom. When we give money with intention, we unlock the energy it holds and redirect it to something greater. This is why, in shamanism, sacrificing money is one of the most transformative practices. But money is still something external, something outside of ourselves. The next level of sacrifice takes us into something much closer to the core of who we are. It's about letting go of something far more personal, our ideas and beliefs. This is where the real transformation begins. Now, we're entering one of the most profound and challenging levels of sacrifice, the sacrifice of your ideas and beliefs. Think about this. How often do conflicts in your life come from stubbornly holding on to being right? How often does your attachment to a belief or your need to defend your perspective drain your energy or create tension with others? Shamans know that rigid ideas can trap us. They keep us stuck in cycles of suffering, limit our growth, and block us from seeing new possibilities. That's why, at this level of sacrifice, we're asked to release our attachment to our own vision of the world. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're in an argument. You know you're right, and you're determined to prove it. But what if, instead of holding on to that need, you chose to let it go? In that moment, you could say, you know what? You might be right. I'm open to seeing it differently. This isn't about permanently abandoning your beliefs or pretending to agree with someone else. It's about loosening your grip on the idea that your perspective is the only truth. When you sacrifice your need to be right, you free yourself from conflict. You conserve your energy, protect your peace, and open space for harmony and growth. Here's another way to look at it. Every belief you hold is like a piece of your identity. Over time, these ideas build up and solidify into who you think you are. Sacrificing an idea, even temporarily, can feel like losing a part of yourself. It's uncomfortable, it's scary, but this process is exactly what leads to transformation. When you let go of an idea, you open yourself to new perspectives, new opportunities, and new ways of being. It's like shedding an old skin so a new one can grow. Here's a small practice you can try. The next time you find yourself in a disagreement, take a deep breath and ask yourself, is being right more important than being at peace? Practice saying, maybe I don't know the full truth. Maybe I can learn something here. This small act of surrender can shift your energy in powerful ways. At its core, sacrificing ideas isn't about giving up who you are. It's about realizing that who you are is bigger than any one belief. It's about freeing yourself from limitations. So far, we've talked about sacrificing the external objects, comforts, money, and even the internal, like your ideas and beliefs. But now, we're going to the highest level. This is the ultimate act of surrender, the sacrifice of your will. Let's explore what that means. And now, we've arrived at the highest and most sacred level of shamanic sacrifice. What does it mean to sacrifice your will? It means letting go of your personal desires, your individual agenda, and even the idea that you are in full control of your life. It's not about giving up entirely or losing yourself. It's about merging your individual will with the greater will of the universe. It's about stepping into a state of complete trust. For shamans, this is the moment when their personal ego steps aside and they become vessels for something much greater. It's in this state that healing and transformations take place. Have you ever had a moment where you stopped fighting against life, or you stopped trying to control the outcome and instead said, I surrender, show me the way? When you sacrifice your will, you're not losing your power, you're aligning with a power far greater than your own. Imagine the difference between trying to paddle upstream or letting the current carry you. This sacrifice requires practice, and it often starts in small ways. For example, during meditation or a prayer, you can practice saying, Spirit, I release my plans and desires. I surrender my will to the greater flow of life. Use me as a vessel for good and guide me toward what's meant to be. In these moments of surrender, you experience something extraordinary. You feel the weight of control lift from your shoulders. You realize that you're part of something vast and infinite, and you can finally trust that life is unfolding exactly as it should. This is what shamans mean when they talk about union with the divine. It's not about giving up. It's about remembering that you are part of the whole. And in that wholeness, there is nothing to fear. The ultimate sacrifice is not about letting go of what you have. It's about letting go of who you think you are. And when you do that, you gain something unimaginable, the universe itself. And with that, we've reached the end of this incredible journey together. The path of shamanic sacrifice isn't about giving up what makes you happy or punishing yourself. It's about stepping into your own power, freeing yourself from what's holding you back, and inviting transformation into your life. Think about it for a moment. Every time you've let go of something, an old habit, a toxic relationship, even a belief that no longer served you, haven't you felt lighter, freer? That's the power of sacrifice. Maybe for you, it starts small. Perhaps there's an object in your life that you're deeply attached to, something from your past that's keeping you stuck. Or maybe it's time to give up a small comfort, like scrolling on your phone before bed to make space for something greater, like peace of mind or clarity. Or maybe the lesson you're ready for is about letting go of control, What if you could trust that life is carrying you exactly where you need to go? I want you to know that this isn't just theory. These sacrifices are practices you can weave into your everyday life, step by step, in ways that feel right for you. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which of these sacrifices speaks to you the most? Have you ever experienced the magic of letting go and seeing something incredible take its place? Share your experience in the comments. I'll be reading and responding to as many as I can. If this video resonated with you, make sure to give it a like, and if you want to keep exploring these topics together, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's so much more to learn, and I'm so grateful to have you here on this journey. Thank you for watching. Until next time, remember, sometimes the greatest act of power is simply letting go.